Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Gebo the Shaman, and today we are talking about what happens when we have the moon placed in the 7th house in your birth chart. So before we get into all that good stuff, I'd just like to let you guys know that I am a Vedic astrologer, and so you can check out everything that I have to offer. All my Vedic astrology readings. I have a Vedic astrology certification course and birth time rectifications and all that good stuff over at gebotheshaman.com, so you can check that out. You can see everything that I have to offer up here, and yeah, so check out everything that I have to offer. In order to understand what the moon in the 7th house means, we need to understand what the moon means, and then we'll talk about what the 7th house means and put them together, create our own analysis from that. Alright, so what is the moon? The moon is the mind, and when I say the mind, I don't mean the intellect as we think of in Western society. I mean the heart mind, the consciousness, the meditative mind, the our meditative mind, our consciousness, our emotions, our feelings, our impulses, things like that. That is the mind. The mind is also the mother. The moon is also representative of the mother. So that would mean that the moon represents your relationship with your mother. So that's what that means. And then it also is indicative of the emotions, because the emotions, what does the moon do? The moon raises the tides and lowers the tides, the tides rise and fall. The moon itself, it waxes to full and then it wanes. The phases of the moon and all that. So that's all indicative of how our emotions change and evolve over time. So so that's that. And so what is the moon is also like nurturing energy and loving energy, nurturing energy, things like that, motherly energy. And so what is the 7th house? The 7th house is the house of your marriage partner, so your relationships with people. It's your intimate relationships. It's basically, if the 1st house is the house of yourself, the 7th house would be the house of other people. So the 7th house traditionally represents your spouse. It represents your business partner, like any kind of contractual business partnerships, contractual obligations, contractual partnerships, anything that's like legally binding that you agreed to. It's like, anything that you have a contract on. Then we have this is the 7th house. Basically, it's your marriage partner, or the person that you would have a long-term relationship with. That, you don't necessarily need to be like legally married, but like if you bought a house together, if you co-own a business, if you like did any kind of contractual or legal binding together, that would be your, business partner, or your spouse or anything like that. So moon in the seventh house, what does this mean? This means that you think about and are constantly drawn towards other people. You're constantly drawn into relationships. You're constantly drawn into codependency. It's the moon here in the seventh house. The way that wants to, the way that shows up is that you want to connect emotionally with another person. So you want to always connect emotionally with other people, and this shows that your spouse will be very motherly, very nurturing, very, things like that. There's, your spouse might have a great relationship with your mother. The moon also, since it represents the mother, that means that your spouse might have a good relationship with your mother. It also means that your mother might meddle into your relationships. That your mother might be one of those nosy people who just butts in and can't mind her own business and things like that. And so yeah, that's one of the drawbacks about this position. However, your spouse might have a really good relationship with your mother. So, and that could lead to them teaming up and almost like teaming up against you kind of thing. That could happen. I've with certain planetary aspects and things like that could happen. But yeah, this shows a real longing and desire for relationships. That's what you're into. That's what you want to do. That's like moon in the seventh house would be all about relationships, and it's like a double-edged sword. It's, you care about people, but then do they care about you? Is that being reciprocated? And so there is a strong possibility with this position that you'll care for people and do too much for them. That's called codependence, because you are looking for their love and their nurturing and their approval. You're looking for that back, so you will go above and beyond for them, but they might not do the same for you. So it is important that you you find a partner that is willing to reciprocate that love and that nurturing and that the energy that you put into them. So yeah, let me check on time, and we are good. So yeah, kind of went over on this one, but So if you would like to get a Vedic astrology reading from me, if you want to get a birth time rectification, or take my Vedic astrology certification course, then you can go here, gebotheshaman.com, check that out, and when you purchase a course or a product or a service, you know, that helps me, that helps the channel, and I am on disability, so any income that I get really helps. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and yeah, so we have the Vedic astrology certification course that actually comes with your own turnkey business. So when you pass the test, I will give you your own business website, so you can actually start making some money. And then we have the Vedic astrology readings. We have the birth time rectification. So the birth time rectification is great. A lot of people are getting more into astrology. Like, a lot of people weren't into it before, but now they're starting to get into it. And so, if you are one of those people who is into astrology, but you just don't know your exact birth time, then it is important that you have your exact birth time. And one of the things that I specialize in, a lot of people will do birth time rectification, and they'll say, oh, you were born between 8:50 and 8:58. Well, that's not accurate. An accurate birth time would be within the span of 1 minute. So I get it down to the span of 1 minute. So that's added benefit with going with me for the distance energy healing, for the birth time rectification. Then we have the distance energy healing. That's great for mental, emotional, psychological pain, any kind of disturbance, any kind of thing like that. It can be used for physical pain as well, but I really do specialize in emotional stuff. So then we have the career coaching and life coaching. So if you're one of those people who is struggling in life, and you just don't know what the hell you're doing, and you're just kind of floating on by the seat of your pants, just kind of letting life do whatever it wants with you without any aim or purpose, that's not a good thing. Things will happen in your life when you make them happen. So take action. Don't wait for things to happen, otherwise nothing will. That's just a fact of life. And then we have the career coaching, life coaching, and then we have the ritual magic courses. You can check those out. And also the Qigong courses. So you want to know the fastest way to heal yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, psychologically, do these. These are the biggest things that I've seen heal people. So, Qigong, yoga, meditation really does help. So, all my stuff is down below. Gebotheshaman.com, all the links are down below. Please like, please subscribe, and we will talk to you next time. The subscribing, really helps the channel. Liking really helps the channel. Just lets people know that you like these videos and that they might be useful to somebody. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We will talk to you next time. Peace.